Renaultsport released the successor to the Clio182. It came in the form of the third generation Clio, the Clio197. And just a year later, in 2007, they brought out a cup version, a limited edition cup version, with all the tasty extras. And this is it. It was called the 197 F1 R27. This week, I've got my hands on this hot hatch from the mid-2000s. And I'm going to tell you what I think it drives like now, some 15, 16 years later. I can't wait. Welcome to Fast and Fun. As was the case with the Clio 172 and 182, when the 197 came out, there was a choice of non-cup or cup editions. To start off with, in 2006, there was no cup edition available. And the first one was this, the F1 R27. What does the R27 represent? Well, the R27 is the name of Renault's Formula 1 car at the time that won the double World Championship 2005-2006. These decals are splattered all around the car. I think it was a no-cost option to have them on or not. For me, from looking back at history, you want these. You definitely want the decals on because it just brings it to life. It brings it alive. This is a special edition. I say only 500 were made. There's a plaque on the passenger side denoting this is number 99 of 500. There's also just down another plaque just where the handbrake lever is as well, also denoting the number. So 99 out of the 500. 142 in liquid yellow. It is categorically the best colour for a Clio, whether it's the 172, 182s, whether it's the later 197s or 200s. The liquid yellow for me. I don't know how good this is going to look on camera, but in the air with the sun beaming down, it's just absolutely stunning. And to tell you the truth, it makes my black gold Clio 182 look rather mundane. Absolutely stunning. This came, the F1 R27s came with the cup packs. What was that? Anthracite alloys for start, 17-inch anthracite alloy wheels. They were lowered by about 7mm, and they had stiffer suspension as well, springs, 25 to 30% stiffer as well. So quite significant. Now this has actually got a few mods on, including H&R springs, which I'll come on to when we do a walk around of the car. But so a limited edition, only 500 made. It's a 2-litre normally aspirated engine, so the core mix of the Clio still remains for the 197s and 2 litres. That 2-litre normally aspirated engine, 6-speed manual gearbox as well. It also came with the brilliant Renaultsport Recaro seats as well, which really lifts the driving experience. So what a stunning car. This has got the aero pack fitted as well, which we'll talk around shortly. Right, let's have a walk around the car and I'll tell you some of the key features of this R27. So let's take a walk around the car, just spotting some of the key features. I think when you first come to one of these R27s, the first thing that you notice is the roof. So talk about large decals. I don't know how easy you can see that, but the whole roof has got the decal on it, which really breaks up the colour. Looks absolutely brilliant. The front of the car, this has got the aero pack, so it comes with this Renaultsport lower splitter. I don't know if you can actually pick out that it says Renaultsport on that. This one's got a bespoke R27 liquid yellow registration plate, which sets it off nicely. The decals, you see those 17-inch anthracite alloy wheels, red 4-part Brembo brakes. This has got looks like G-hook discs. Again, consumables you would expect. This has also got H&R lowering springs as well. We'll come on to the exhaust when we get around the back. Other tidy features of the car are these air vents here at the rear of the front arch, just trying to and I think they are real, and that's just trying to vent cooling and heat from the front brakes down the side of the car. Again, some more decals here on the doors. If you look down at the lower sills, you can see the black carbon sill extension. Again, it's a Renaultsport feature. Again, it's part of that aero kit, and it lifts up, definitely lifts up the 197. The other, so as well as the front splitter and the sill extensions, you've got this Renaultsport rear spoiler, again embossed with Renaultsport, as well as underneath there. Stunning, it really does lift it. Love the back of it. Tinted rear windows, and then at the back, this I think's got the later, I'm not 100% sure on this, the later diffuser from the 200 I think. So with the exhaust coming out of the twin exhaust coming out of that rear diffuser. Decals, Renault decals, all darkened, and it just stands so well. What options have been done to the car? Scorpion exhaust fitted, non-res, so it's certainly on the loud side, and it's full decat as well. It's got, like I said, the H&R lowering springs on the car. Suspension's all been polybushed, including I think the engine mounts as well. So a few subtle changes, I think, just to bring out the best from the car. So the inside, first thing you're greeted with is the Renaultsport Recaro seats. Look fabulous. They're the same seats, different colour as my Megane RS250, so I can really vouch for them being great cars. The interior, got the Renaultsport embossed steering wheel, rev limiter on the left there up to about 7,500 RPM, and then it is Clio interior. It's not German standard, but the 6-speed gearbox, interested to see how that goes. That's likely to be an improvement over the 5-speed of the 182. And other than that, yes, it's pretty standard, what you expect for sort of the mid 2000s. And again, as you go in, you're greeted by that Renaultsport symbol. Let me just pop the bonnet. 2 litre, normally aspirated. That's what were great about these Renaultsport Clios from the 2000s. The high revving nature, no turbochargers on these. Incidentally, it looks like they've fixed and on the 182s, 172s, the dipstick was down there. Used to get about a foot below the front of the car. Easier access, and I can actually see there's some polybush mountings there for the engine. So, but the engine otherwise is untouched. The main really change to this, is the H&R lowering springs, pads and discs. They're just consumables. It's the Scorpion exhaust, so it's fully decat, D-res, quite loud, quite noisy. Can't wait to take it out on the roads. Looking forward to this. First things that you notice when you get into the R27 is the seats, back into seats that I know and like in regard to these Renaultsport Recaros. Really comfortable, feel absolutely great. Steering wheel is an improvement again on the 182, so the driving position straight away, I feel like I'm sat in the car where previously I haven't. So yeah, looks it's a step up. Bit plasticky still, it's not German quality, it's still French quality. 6-speed manual gearbox as well. So you've got the F1 World Championship 2005-2006 number 99 of 500 plaque down near the handbrake as well.
Visibility is really good. This has got the wind deflectors on the outside, which I'm not a fan of, but it's okay, I suppose, if you drive sometimes with the windows down. Right, let's take this out and see how it drives. It's a really nice driving position. Dials are really clear. Steering wheel feels nice. It's got the top central stitched line at the top, and the gear stick's just where you want it as well. So early impressions are nice. Quite boomy, the exhaust, that Scorpion Decat non-res exhaust. Just blip the accelerator and it was just a little bit sort of a few pops and bangs going on there. But just warm the car up, so a little bit cautious to start off with. The ride on these HR lowering springs, you're never quite sure what they're going to be like, but it makes it sit certainly lower, but the ride quality is not bad. It's not as compliant as the 182, but it's no worse than my Megane RS250 on the 19 inches. So, little squirt up here. Real rasp to that exhaust note. Really badly surfaced road this will really test the suspension. It's doing admirably so far. The steering with the 197s, the move from hydraulic to electric, but it's still got that Renaultsport steering feel. Steering's it's alive. I can feel everything that those front wheels are doing with the car. And incidentally, this is on Yokohama's tyres as well. Coming out of this village, just drop it into second gear, 30 miles an hour, 3,500 revs, national speed limit. Right, up 4, 5, 6, tugging away, over 7,000, popping and banging straight in third. Oh, ho, ho! It's absolutely on it. It really is. The steering, the accelerator is so. You can change the angle through the accelerator. Absolutely. Right on it. Christ, that is impressive. That is impressive. Yeah, it's boomy, yeah, it's noisy, but that went really well. Comes alive. Little blip there, bit of heel and toe into this corner. I love it. This is really, really surprising me. Apparently they've changed the gearing on the 197s. First, second, third gearing is a bit shorter. So it's actually, although it's slightly down on bhp per tonne with the 182s, it's got, it shades the 182s 0 to 60 by about a tenth of a second. Say slightly lowered R27, it is harsh, it is firm at times. You do avoid a few potholes, but the trade-off for that is on the smoother corners, the smoother roads. It feels really secure, really planted, and there's something about how Renault managed to get that balance between ride quality and that adjustability, that cornering. And the turning, it's really sharp, it's really direct. So let's talk weight, because that's one thing with the 197s. They come in at about 1,240 kilograms. So that's getting a little bit on the heavier side with a 195 brake horsepower, really. It's 197 PS. That just nullifies some of the acceleration. So, and although the 2 litre normally aspirated, it goes well enough, and it's quite a linear power delivery. You just want it to kick like the 182s do. Doesn't quite do that. Oh, it sounds really nice. They're right on it now. But you just want it to go a little bit more. And I think the chassis can have that. It's just, I think that weight just nullifies it a little bit. Under brakes, I don't feel it. And cornering, to be truthful, it corners hard, it corners well. It feels adjustable. So how do I summarise the F1 R27? Well, I'd always been a bit of a hater of the 197-200. Well, not a hater, but I'd never been really bothered because I just thought they were a little bit too big for lightweight hatches. Well, this car has absolutely changed that. Yes, it could do with a little bit more power. Yes, it hasn't got the kick and it's just a bit more power, and I can understand why people drop Megane engines in these just to get more power, because it feels like the car could do with another 20-30 horsepower. But that's probably because the chassis, the car itself is so good. It's just an easy car to live with. As a daily, absolutely, I could daily drive this. Whether you'd want to or not, I'm not sure, being a sort of limited edition. And it's that normally aspirated 2 litre, the high revving engine. We haven't got them anymore. They've gone. The few petrol engines we've got nowadays are smaller capacity and turbocharged. These 2 litre NAs, they're just the noise, the vibration. It's all sensual. It gets you all like sort of excited. You're part of the action. I was really concerned that this car was all about the way it looks. It was all looks, not the way it drove. And thankfully I've got it wrong. This R27 is a fantastic car. It really is. It's not perfect. I think a little bit more power because the chassis is just that good. The steering is just that good. And you just think, limited edition, only 500 ever made. In liquid yellow, this one. It's a bona fide classic. It's a bona fide modern classic, this car. It's got it all over. Love it. I really do love it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And stay tuned, there'll be another video next week. Thanks for watching, guys.